Hi, I'm Patty Alexander with Personalized Senior Placement. Have you or a loved one been considering an assisted living community? Or would you prefer a more personal setting of a residential home where you will be assisted by 24-hour caregivers? We are senior placement specialists. Allow us the time to personally get to know you. This helps us to match your needs, budget, and personality with the best assisted living community for you. Let us help improve the quality of your life. Please give us a call today.
And welcome back. Well, if you or someone you know is looking for an assisted living place to live, maybe it's time that you move out from where you're at. There are a lot of different facilities in this area, quite a lot, and it can be confusing wading through all their options and what they offer. We have a couple people on today with Personalized Senior Placement that can help you do that. And Patty Alexander is here, and she's been on before with the Senior Center. And Priscilla Sanchez, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
So we were talking a little bit before we came back here, and I was going over with you exactly what you do. You are not the actual facility. You are not a home care agency, but it seems like what you do is help people go through the process, much like a travel agent would go through all the different options and cruises or something like that.
Absolutely. The whole process can be overwhelming because when we look in just the immediate area, like Laguna Woods and all of the assisted living communities that are offered, and then if we just look at the one city of Mission Viejo, they have over 150 boarding care options.
Wow.
And so for somebody at home, maybe the senior or their family, it's an overwhelming experience, process. So what we do is to really personalize that. I'm going to speak, let's say it was your mom. Kim,
right.
And you called me up and said, Patty, my mom, really, we can't afford to have 24-hour caregivers in the home for her. It's time for us to look at other options. I would come and I would meet with you and your mom, the family members, mostly to get to know your mom. I like to look at the environment she's living in. Maybe she has a pet, a little dog or a little cat. That's really important to them. And that's the whole point of really coming to meet them in their own environment. Finding out what's important to them, looking at what level of care that she needs, and maybe what's missing for her right now that we can help provide for her by showing her different communities. So with that said, I would look at care, the price, your budget, geographics, where mom wants to be. She wants to stay in her same community. Then what Priscilla and I do is we look at the different communities and say, this would really be a good fit for your mom. And I would narrow it down to maybe 3 to begin with.
Okay.
And take you, and if mom's able, we would take both of you and we would personally go through that process with the tour. Priscilla and I are both licensed with the Department of Social Services, so we help you through the paperwork process, because there's always paperwork when you move in, and help schedule the move. We follow up. We make sure that everything goes smoothly.
So you are, it sounds like what you do is much the same, like I said, a travel agent or a wedding coordinator or anything like that. You're taking the worry that they may have and the daunting task of looking at all these places individual, try and get all their brochures and figure out what's going on in each one of them. You have that information at hand and you can go through that. What is your background, Priscilla? Have you worked with social services agencies before?
Like Patty said, I am licensed through the Department of Social Services, and I have a boarding care. So I know exactly what it is or what families are going through to find a place for mom and dad. And then also the other side of it is the care, boarding care, and the personal side of it. And we do activities together, we have our meals together, a more home setting than the bigger communities. So there's kind of the 2 options that you can go, or that families don't know where to go to, and that's kind of what we help them personally figure that out.
So is that what a board and care is? You often, you've heard of, board and care for other things, but
Right.
usually in this industry, you hear the term assisted living.
Right, right. And the board and care option is a great option for somebody that has a fixed budget. And when you go into a board and care community, they're going to be provided with 24-hour care. And Priscilla has a beautiful home. She works for me, and she also is an administrator of her own home. But they will know that every month it's going to be a certain price. Sometimes with the larger assisted living communities, the price can go up. It can fluctuate as their care levels go up. Sometimes people just want the option of having something like home. They're uncomfortable going into large dining rooms, or they don't want to participate in activities, or maybe their care level is so high that they need to have that 24-hour caregiver attending to them. So it's a great option.
So the board and care, Priscilla, is it different in scope and size? Or I know some of these assisted living places, and you mentioned some, they're right around here. There's all these different ones, and the Regency and Freedom Village and all this. And they have different levels. Some of them are different levels within their community.
Right.
Sometimes it's just simply you're living in an apartment.
Independently in an
Yeah,
apartment. Absolutely.
independently. And some or all your meals are included in that price. You have
Right.
a little kitchenette, but you want the community aspect of
Right.
it. Then they also have within there, going up the scale, assisted living, and then further, a few of these places even have very dedicated skilled nursing
Absolutely.
facilities.
Right.
So where
what-
does the board and care part fit in? Are those places also have board and care, or you would refer to that, or board and care facilities, smaller communities,
Yes.
or just in a
It's
home or
more
something?
of a home setting. So
Okay.
they're licensed to up to 6. So you have 6 residents. It's a more one-on-one care. You have 2 full-time caregivers at all times. So the ratio is basically 3 to 1. So you get more of a personal care. You still have your privacy. They still respect that, but you have more of our dining is all together activities. We get to know them in a more personal level, and we kind of get to know their needs, their wants, their what they like, what they don't like. So it's more of a home setting, and many seniors now find that more comfortable than bigger communities.
Yeah, and the eyes on them, if you think about 1 care or 2 caregivers providing care for the same people, they'll notice a change maybe in something health-wise that they can address or pick up the phone and call the doctor or call the family. So, I think that both places, we work with the large communities and the small communities, and it's really about what's most appropriate for the senior, and that's what we help with through our evaluation process. And educating, if I were to educate you, I'd want you to know that in a larger community, this is where I would want what your mom or your parents, I'd want them to be able to get up in the morning and dress up and go to the dining room and participate in the activities, and maybe get on the bus and go to different local events and things that they have to offer, because that's what you're paying for.
Right.
So
speaking of paying for, what is the cost?
the cost of
your service,
Our
yes.
services, there is no cost.
Okay.
And I don't want people to think that we're a nonprofit organization, but we do get paid. We're paid a commission from the large communities and small communities, and it's based
Okay.
on the first month. So we do get paid, but
Okay. So, but people want to
we
know,
don't.
am I going to be paying?
What's nice is we never have to ask a family for money.
Okay. If somebody wants to arrange an appointment, your number is 949-371-8874, or pattyforplacement@cox.net. That's the email. Obviously, you're going to come out, one of you are going to come out to their home
Absolutely.
and wherever they are, and sit down and go over what they're looking for. And obviously, I would say one of the biggest things is go over their budget, right?
Absolutely. We don't want to know their financials. We just want to know what their budget is, so that we know that they're not
Yeah.
going to be priced out of someplace
Right.
in a year or two. Because they don't want to be caught by surprise. So
Yeah.
with the financials.
Are most of these places, at least the board and care, Priscilla, do they sign a lease, or how does that cost stay? It stays fixed for a year, or as you said, some of these assisted living places, they're very nice, but like an apartment, they can be hit. Well, this year the price is going up. The board and care is it different?
It's kind of the same, but we don't have the levels that the bigger communities have.
Okay.
Where they kind of go off of point systems or something
Okay.
like that. It's more, we work with the families and we work with their budget, and it's more of a set fee.
Okay. All right, very good. When someone gives you a call, do you do like a little pre-interview over the phone saying what you're looking for?
We have a little assessment over the
Okay.
phone. Sometimes the family can give us some insight
Yeah.
over the phone, and then we go and personally meet with the family and the potential client, the senior that's thinking about moving, and then we start that process from beginning to
All
end.
right. And you do, as I said, you work with the senior center here. You're one of the
Absolutely,
resources
all
that
the
they
senior
have.
centers, and if I may say, I'm on the board of directors
Okay.
for AgeWell. So I do
Good.
a lot of volunteer, and I know the community sees me out there because I
Yeah, so
I do
obviously
a lot
if
of
you're
vol-
on their board, then you know
Yeah.
this area quite well.
You will not find two people that are more passionate and caring about our seniors.
And what
Very
sets us
good.
aside from other agencies that do the same thing that we do is that we're not just about numbers or just online fill out an application and we'll send you a list. I mean, we really want to get to know where your loved one is going to have the best care and
Right.
the best way of living or life. So that's our goal, and that's what we get to know before we even start finding a place for them.
All right, very good. So again, their number is 949-371-8874. And if for some reason you forget that, when we get the ladies on from the senior center, they always talk about the resources. Go over to the senior center and say, you know what, we saw these two ladies on that talked about looking for assisted living facilities, and they'll have their brochures there, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you very
They sure
much,
will.
Priscilla and
Thank you,
Patty.
Ken.
Nice
Sure
to meet
appreciate
both of you. Nice to see you again.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Patty Alexander with Personalized Senior Placement. Have you or a loved one been considering an assisted living community? Or would you prefer a more personal setting of a residential home where you will be assisted by 24-hour caregivers? We are senior placement specialists. Allow us the time to personally get to know you. This helps us to match your needs, budget, and personality with the best assisted living community for you. Let us help improve the quality of your life. Please give us a call today.